Hey guys, should be live. See?
Here we are.
All right, let's go. I guess we are. Let's go.
Someone's echoing you.
No, that's mine.
you,
Sorry,
Em-
I just
It's you, Emil. You gotta
yeah.
lower your game.
no, because I shared the
Pala, I
Facebook
should
feed.
share as well.
All right.
Yeah, that's fine. Hey
Jasper,
Glendale,
I'll
what's
try
up?
something lang. Ayun. What's up, Dr. G?
Hey, while we're live, shoutout ko lang yung mga cool
Ayun.
pals na nagpapa-shoutout sa akin. Shoutout kay JRT, kay Jan, kay Joseph. Libre ang shoutout dito, walang pamura. Pero libre, what's up guys? They also listen to the podcast. So, hello, gulat ako may cool pals listeners.
Hey guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Shout out to you. Julian, what's up?
Julian, what up?
Regulars are here.
Doing okay. Same old. Sucks lang. You know.
Mainit, but fine.
Mainit nga.
Pawis, pero
Byron Russell,
kinakaya.
what's up?
Kala ko si Brian Russell ng Utah Jazz
nga
eh.
Byron Russell. Probably named after the coach, diba?
Yeah, guys, stay
Yeah, it
hydrated kasi super init. It's been windy, that's a good thing. The evenings have been windy, pero if you have to go outside during the daytime, lalo na during the afternoon, please stay hydrated. Stay out of the sun.
Dala kayo ng payong. Kayong pabida.
Oo.
Dala kayo ng
Yeah,
payong. Seryoso.
The sun
Yeah.
is scorching hot. Super
Oo.
init yan.
Tsaka tubig. Tubig kayo.
Lots and lots of water.
Yep. If you think you're hydrated, you're not hydrated. Unless you're inside your office. Pero even then, drink a lot of water. If your pee is even a little shade of yellow, go drink your water.
Julian, I know that feeling.
Yep. I even papawisan din ako sa gabi. Even with an aircon on, that's how bad it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, kailangan naka-aircon tapos naka-on pa yung electric fan.
So yeah, isipin nyo na lang guys, mas mura yung aircon bill nyo kaysa sa ER. Pero palakasin nyo lang yan. Kasi ang init talaga.
Yeah. That's true, Glendale.
Hello, Ina.
Hello, Ina.
Mikey.
Franz, what's up?
Ah,
who
compare
I
nyo
met
ang
for the first
WrestleMania
time.
40s.
Sa isang ulam.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's a good question. I like that.
Chicken
Okay ni
and
analogy ni Mikey eh, yung steak na may shrimp. Okay na yun.
Yeah,
eh.
but you know, I don't always look for steak as a comfort food. Diba?
What's up to Franz, who I met for the first time last Sunday
Yep.
during the NWF tapings. What's up?
Friends. What up, man?
Hello, friends.
Friends, pupunta ka ba sa quiz night? Never mind.
Who's ready for story time? going on? This is Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed.
Let me talk to him.
Hello, WWE Universe in the Philippines. This is Charlotte.
Hey everyone, this is Jeff Cobb.
I have to finish the story.
We are pretty deadly. Yes, boy. Yes, boy.
Run!
Bang! The sniper is shooting you down. This is TMDK's Robbie Eagles.
Hey, this is the Cosmic Cactus, Paul London.
Hello, my name is Ilya Dragunov, the Czar, the NXT champion, and you're listening to...
And you're listening to...
And you're listening...
And you are listening...
And you're listening
to the Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
To the Wrestling Podcast. Yeah.
You are watching and listening to the longest running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. This is the Wrestling Podcast. Stan C, Romaran, Chino Liao, and Emil Nate checking in. Si Glendale, aga-aga, gusto agad mag-Pokemon One Piece Voltes 5. If you weren't there at the MWF tapings, you missed out on probably the stupidest and yet simultaneously the best chant I've ever heard in local wrestling.
And a bare ass.
And a bare ass.
Yeah.
Yes. Lahat yun. Nakita natin. Well, them. I was in back.
Meron din yung FPW, but neither here nor there.
What is it with last Sunday and bare asses? Why? Was
Mainit
there
kasi.
something in the horoscope or something na dictated na, Mercury retrograde or some shit, let's bare our asses today. Anyway.
Ang sasabihin ko na lang is, buta na lang nagdo-double underwear na yung mga wrestlers. Nakakaiwas sila sa wild wardrobe malfunctions.
Okay. All right, we got a stacked card for tonight. Marami tayong pag-uusapan as usual. But thank you for joining us for yet another live stream of the Wrestling Podcast. We have a lot to talk about for tonight, so let's start off with Quiz Night. That is how we're celebrating 10 years of the Wrestling Podcast. So yung anniversary natin gaganapin sa Saturday. That is 4/20. And as Chino said last week, we will get high on wrestling trivia and knowledge at Hobby Stadium in New Manila.
Chicken skin.
Chicken skin. Tama yan. So yung Hobby Stadium, it's located along Doña Hemadi Avenue, corner E. Rodriguez. May parking pero very limited. So if you're bringing a car, it might help to be early. Ito yung prizes natin, by the way. Our first prize, whether you're competing on your own or with a partner or as a trio or as a stable, our prizes will not change. So yung first prize is that CM Punk flag t-shirt you see on your screen. Oh, teka lang, Jasper. Ayan. That CM Punk t-shirt, that Rhea Ripley bath towel, para in the words of Chino, pwede mo na rin apakan si Mami. That Cody Rhodes replica weight belt na pwede mo ipanghampas sa Cody Rhodes ng buhay mo if you're feeling like you're Dwayne The Rock Johnson. That LWO armband and the John Cena Bimpo. Perfect dahil lahat tayo lagatak ang pawis ngayong summer. So that is first prize. Second prize, we've got this Jey Uso Yeet t-shirt and this Roman Reigns action figure. So unboxed siya. Don't expect na nakabox siya. But that's courtesy of our friends from Everybody's Toys and Collectibles. And yung third prize na wala tayong picture kasi we're not sure which box yung papamigay ng Hobby Stadium. But they are committing to give away a box of WWE trading cards. So lahat yan, part ng haul natin for Quiz Night on Saturday. Entry fee natin is 500 pesos. For our regular ticket, may discounted rates tayo for our patrons. Kasi syempre, patrons natin sila.
You can technically sign up for Patreon now and then get a discounted rate on Saturday.
Yeah. Gusto mo mga grepa, di ba? Gusto mo kami grepa, di go. Mag-sign up kayo sa Patreon. Tapos, punta kayo sa Quiz Night for the discounted rate. Oh, di ba?
But do they really save money? Like
well, they do not. But there are other benefits which Emil will get into.
To answer Eunice's question, yes, the ticket comes with a plate of chicken skin. Kasama na yun. So, part na yun ang babayaran ninyo.
Whether you're a patron or a regular, you will get a plate of chicken skin. And solely yung chicken skin nila.
Yes, we swear by it. We promise. All right, since we mentioned the Patreon program, Emil, let them know what other benefits they have other than discounted tickets to Quiz Night.
Yeah, so aside from that, you'll get more benefits, of course. And also, you're supporting the pod in its 10th year. Again, we're celebrating that this weekend. There's the link right there below. It's patreon.com/wrestling podcast for as low as $5. So aside from perks like the discounted tickets, you also get to join in on our Discord where it's really fun. Like, sobrang no kompleto yung araw ko just looking at the Discord and discussing about everything, not just wrestling, but life in general. So you'll get to enjoy that. Of course, you'll also get the review content of the weekly wrestling shows. I think all of us at this point are writing some sort of of a review kasi madaming wrestling talaga na nagaganap every week. And also you get some preferential rates on the pasabays, which I think we will discuss after this. The new batch has opened. So if you're a patron, you'll get some preferential rates on the service fees. And again, by subbing to our Patreon, you're supporting everything that we do here on the pod. Again, going strong, going into its 10th year. So again, it's patreon.com/wrestling podcast.
All right. We mentioned the pasabay. So, yun, yung pasabay batch natin, bukas na siya. If you want to get authentic wrestling merch from WWE Shop or Pro Wrestling Tees, Shop AEW, wherever you want to get your wrestling merch. Pati yung mga wrestling adjacent sites like Roots of Fight, Homage, lahat yan, pwede nating pagbilhan natin yan, di ba? Basta tinatanggap yung credit card natin, we can use it on those sites and we can organize that group buy happening over the weekend. The link is on your screen, tinyurl.com/pasabay April 2024. Shout out to one of our patrons, LJ, isa rin sa mga regular natin sa ating monthly or every so often na pasabay dito sa Wrestling Podcast. One final thing we got to remind you of is we got to promote Blast TV. So happy row noises. Take it away.
Mama Rhodes, Blast TV. Let me learn you, Mama Rhodes. I mean, everything is on Blast TV. Every main roster show, WWE, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, is on Blast TV. Traffic in the Philippines in Manila is so bad that I get to watch Blast TV while I'm driving. Don't worry, may holder ako ng phone sa dashboard ko. So that's what I look at when I'm stuck in traffic. So that's how I keep up now with everything because I don't have to wait anymore. Thanks to Blast TV, it's streaming right there. Legit siya. I don't have to go through ads or any not yung disrupted the pop-up ads. Oh, yung aso, yung ano, yung mga ganap sa Watch Wrestling, all that stuff. It's gone right now because I'm watching my favorite or the shows I have to watch, the main roster shows I have to watch right there on Blast TV, app.blasttv.ph on desktop on your browser or the Blast TV PH app on your mobile devices. It is free for Converge and Globe at Home subscribers. Yo, Mama Rhodes, and it's 179 pesos for everyone else. It's really, really cheap, y'all. Let's support this kasi wala pa tayo sa Netflix. Tagal pa yun. And we don't know when that's going to happen. So until then, please let the good people over at Blast TV know that we are watching and we are subscribing to them. We are giving them money for WWE content. And may ibang content din. May ibang sports, NFL, UFC is also showing on Blast TV. Setanta Sports is having NBA on there and other football games as well. So all the things you want to see, even the Fast and Furious series, all there on Blast TV. Go check it out, y'all. Mama
All
Rhodes.
right. Okay, let's get to some wrestling talk. We're going to start with WWE and some unfortunate news for one Rhea Ripley. So, nirelinquish ni Mami yung Women's World Championship because she was injured, and yung bali-balita is that it was caused by the backstage attack by Liv Morgan. So, apparently yung exact moment where Liv Morgan shoved Rhea's head first, diba? Dito dun sa wall, dun sa hallway or corridor, AC joint daw ni Rhea yung na-injure. So, apart from the wrist injury na iniinda na raw niya, she has to take surgery or have surgery and be out for like 3 months or something like that. So, yun, we're gonna have a new women's world champion by next week, and this sucks kasi Rhea Ripley was on a hell of a run. She was on a tear for the last year or so. And it's really unfortunate that this is how her dominant run as women's world champion has to come to an end. So, Chino, who do you wish would have beaten Rhea Ripley had she not gotten injured?
Sana si Becky nung win niya. That would have been a pop, diba? Kasi the Mania's only been, a week away? So sayang din na talo nga niya si Becky Lynch on the biggest Mania of them all. But then all of a sudden, she'll have to bow out because of injury. So unfortunate news for mommy here. But I think really, if anything, it just opens up the door for her to come back stronger in the however many months she's gone. Imagine the comeback pop that we get from seeing Rhea Ripley back on our TVs again after so many months. So yun na lang yung like the bright side that we can look forward to as wrestling fans.
They were promoting on Raw this week na may bagong champion na by next week. So, Emil, who are you gonna put your money on?
I'm gonna put my money on Liv Morgan because they've been building up this program between Liv and Rhea, and at this point, Liv is the only name that I could come up on the top of my head as the one that who should win the women's championship. Because by the time Rhea returns, there's your program. There's your program for SummerSlam or maybe for Survivor Series. But I think this gives them a chance to kind of do a reset in the women's division on Raw, because one of the things that I've said before during Rhea's title reign is that wala siyang kontrapelo. There's no one on the roster who is credible. Maybe aside from Becky, but Becky was busy doing other things at that point. Na I could see going toe to toe with Rhea Ripley. So this gives him a chance to build someone else, or develop someone else to be the solid number two to Rhea's number one. So, and as of right now, I am seeing Liv as that possible yung kontrapelo to Rhea. So I'm going with Liv Morgan.
Ikaw, Ro.
Hey, the answer is nobody, because nobody's been built up. Obviously, the answer here is gonna be Liv. That's the smart money. Pero I want to piss people off and say either Maxine Dupree para mainis yung mga haters, or actually a more serious joke suggestion is Nia Jax. Because Nia Jax has been really good in the past weeks or past couple of months that she was being highlighted before WrestleMania, before they pivoted to Becky and Rhea. So I think deserve naman ni Nia Jax to have a small run, be the bully of the women's division on Raw. Tapos just hold it for someone to be built up, diba? I do think she deserves it. I think unless she's injured, because I haven't seen her since Elimination Chamber. I think she didn't show up. You're on mute. I can't hear you.
Sorry, may backstage interview naman siya nung Raw.
This Raw.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I think she deserves to go for it. They did bring her back for a reason, and it is to piss off yung mga tao. And then she proved them wrong. She proved she can get better. So why not? I don't see anyone else kasi. Like, it's time for someone else to dominant then.
Mm-hmm. Ikaw, Chino, sinong bet mo?
I would say Nia din. Nia, naisip ko lang din yun nung na-realize ko hindi ko pala sinagot yung tanong mo. Nia is actually the best pick for me right now. Kasi tama nga, diba? She's the bully. She's the for lack of a better term, the head of the table right now. Kasi siya na yung pinakamalaki dyan. Diba? And yes, she doesn't make the strongest case. Kasi nandun pa si Liv Morgan. But wouldn't it read better if you had, say, a Liv Morgan who is deserving of the title shot, but has it taken away yet again from her, fight back only to be in that same spot again? Parang mas maganda din siya as an underdog, because that's essentially what Liv is during the first parts of her career. Diba? With Nia Jax, tama din, deserving din siya, because she's been proving herself to be a proven commodity in the women's division. So tama lang din sa akin na makita natin siya with the belt for quite some time.
Mm-hmm. Let's say hi to Norvin, one of our first-time viewers.
Norvin.
Thank you for joining us here on the Wrestling Podcast. Let us know kung paano mo kami na-discover or paano mo kami nahanap.
Drop it in the comments.
Mm-hmm. While you do that, let's go to the next one. Let's talk about Chad Gable and that epic heel turn. So, some of us here were talking about how Chad Gable was gonna beat Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. But no, that didn't happen. Instead, habang nagsiselebrate si Sami at ringside with his family, he was literally kissing or like hugging his wife. And then Chad Gable grabbed him from behind, hit him with a German suplex. Ina-ankle lock pa siya nang nakapatiwarik dun sa top rope right in front of his crying wife. So that was a great heel turn to end Monday Night Raw. It kind of reminded me of the NXT takeovers of old where kala mo Chiron na, diba? That was my fake out pala, like Triple H would regularly do. So, Emil, what do you think about the way that they turned Chad Gable heel?
It was the way they turned him heel is perfect. Like when we were predicting WrestleMania, I said na Chad is gonna get involved and turn heel on Sammy. But I'm glad that they let Sammy have his moment at WrestleMania and then have this heel turn happen literally a week later. Kasi parang para at least di naman sapaw dun sa moment ni Sammy. And this was set up perfectly. Kasi akala, yun like you said, akala ko patapos na yung show. Like I was looking at the clock, and it was like 10:59 when Chad did the suplex, which shocked me because I thought, okay, they're gonna wrap up the show, and probably the heel turn is gonna happen next week or in a couple of weeks, but they did it right then and there, which was perfect, and it was hometown ni Sammy, so there was extra heat there that the crowd really booed the hell out of Chad Gable. So this was the perfect place and time to do it, and I'm glad that they were able to pull this off.
Mm-hmm. Chino, where does this leave Maxine Dupree and Otis?
I think that will be the story moving forward. That would be where we need to watch what happens kasi hindi sila included dun, I think, at this point. Hindi sila included dun sa decision ni Chad Gable to turn on Sami Zayn, di ba? If anything, hindi, very minimal din yung involvement nila with Sami Zayn during the training montages that they've been doing as the build-up to Mania. So, I don't know kung mag-heel turn din sila. I'm pretty sure this might mean that Chad might have to distance himself from what was Alpha Academy kasi magsasalaga din na siya going on his own solo run, and I think it's better for him to do that on his own, and I think it's better for him to do a solo career, solo run as a heel champion without anybody behind his back kasi doon na pumapasok yung claim niya na insecure siya, na hindi niya kinaya yung pressure, diba? Na kinain na siya ng emotions niya, or whatever other things people have been saying about him. So I think mas ma-amplify yun when he distances himself from everybody else. Also, can we talk about that entrance that Sami Zayn did? My God.
Oh, yeah.
Yun yung pinapaborito kong part of this whole thing. The Rocky style montages, the entrance that they did where they just pulled out and we saw the whole arena cheering for Sami Zayn. Talagang ang gandang tingnan. And the way Sami just yung sinama nila with Jay Uso, and I didn't know what they were doing. Why were they still following Jay? Tapos biglang may moment pala siya with Sami Zayn. Just the creative leaps that the WWE is taking right now, never expected it to happen in a million years. And I'm so happy that it's happening now.
Okay, it's time to address Iger's comment here. Nauuso na raw ang parang post-credit scene sa WWE. Nope. Real NXT fans know that this has been a thing for a while now. We have been doing this for 10 years, and ironically, Sami Zayn was the first recipient of the dreaded Chiron fake-out heel turn. So, I can tell that you haven't seen NXT Black and Gold. So, eto na yan. This is what Triple H has brought to the company, to the main roster. And it has been going on for a while now. Pero, yes, Norvin's right. Never trust the copyright logo. Never ever trust. Especially in the Triple H era. Kapag hindi pa top of the hour, hindi pa 11 o'clock sakto, and make copyright logo na, you know something's up. And was I not right or was I not right? Nobody wears suits for no reason. Nobody starts wearing suits in WWE for no reason at all. So, tawag doon, when the moment...
Si John Cena, nagsusuit naman ah.
Oo nga. Then he turned heel in 2020. 2019, was it? 2019?
Cena?
So, yeah, diba? When he came out as the Doctor of Thugonomics?
Yeah, that was WrestleMania in 2019. Yeah.
Against Elias.
Yeah, so nobody starts wearing suits for no reason, especially when that someone is Chad Gable. But I wrote a review na I wish it didn't have to be a heel turn. I mean, they were right. Chad Gable had a family, he was wrestling for his family, and then it's kind of heartbreaking and annoying and lazy. Na okay, the way to get him over to get him to the next level is to turn him heel. But we just saw him wrestle with his daughter, and his daughter cried for him when he lost. Tapos gonna throw it all away to turn him heel. That's why I don't like yung particular decision to do this, but I get it as well. Apparently you can't be goofy and you can't be a serious wrestler that wins. The law of the land says that you have to be an asshole to do it, which is why MSG turned heel, I suppose. So I get that this is the next level. I hope that they do elevate him like the way I do hope na magiging Gunther level na rin siya. Kasi, I think we all know that he is capable of that shit. This guy is an Olympian wrestler. And I hope that they don't waste this goodwill. So there was a lot of goodwill. There were a lot of people wanting to cheer for Chad Gable, but we're not getting the opportunity to cheer for Chad Gable. And I feel na we're gonna get the heel turn for a little while. That was he's gonna win a lot, and then the crowd will love him so much that there's no choice but for him to go back to being a face. Say, people want to cheer this guy. I don't see I see it, but I also don't agree with it. Yung business decision to turn heel.
Mm-hmm. Let us know what you think in the comments about turning Chad Gable heel and this ongoing story with the Intercontinental Championship. For now, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we'll talk about the new World Tag Team Championships. But first, let's hear from our other podcasts right here on the Pod Network. All right, we got new World Tag Team Championships. Well, at least in the Paul Levesque era. Na-retire na yung Raw Tag Team Championships, and I guess that also means na yung SmackDown Tag Team Championships will be renamed. And I think it's only right that they revert to the old WWE Tag Team Championship name din, diba? To mirror what it was 2 decades ago in the Ruthless Aggression era when the Raw Tag Team titles were the World Tag Team Championships, and then the WWE tags were on SmackDown. So what do you think about this rebrand starting with these championships, Emil?
I think one of the reasons why we're having this rebrand is also for convenience pagdating sa draft. So that, kasi dati ginagawa nila, if the SmackDown tag team champions go to Raw, they will just do a title exchange. So dito, like, it doesn't matter which brand it is. Like, it's if it's on Raw, if it's SmackDown, if they're the tag team champions, they're gonna retain the titles. So wala na tayo yung mga awkward title exchanges na mangyayari. And second, it was time to get rid of those penny-looking titles. I mean, this is something that I think a lot of fans has been requesting for a while. And sakto, it's a new era, so it's just fitting that we're having these brand new titles. A lot of people are saying it looks like pepperoni pizza. I don't mind it. I don't mind the look of the titles. It's something new. They obviously modeled it around the World Heavyweight Championship kasi nga it's a Raw Championship. So I'm also looking forward to how the SmackDown titles would look. So malalaman natin yan, I think, this upcoming Saturday.
Yeah. Ikaw, Ro, which sets of championships did you prefer? Yung Raw Tag Team titles or these World Tag Team titles?
I was in the minority when I say I like yung lumang belts. I enjoy how they stand out when they were copper and then now silver and then now this. But I get it. Sige. I understand that people like gold. People like this, the look of gold. And sure, sige, let's keep that. These belts are obviously throwbacks to a simpler time when belt designs weren't super complicated, and they're straight up circular. Tapos the straps are thin. That's a really, really old school look, and that makes them look small and then the plate comically oversized. But I think as long as they're gold, people will love it. And they're not bad. They're not bad looking. Pangit sila dun sa picture. Pag picture lang. Pag hindi sila kasing detailed when they don't look as detailed as this. So it's not bad. I do think they are distinct in the way they're designed. But I what I like most about it is the reversion to the name World Tag Team Championship kasi yun yung kinagisnan natin nung bago tayong wrestling fans, diba? So it makes sense to me. This makes sense to me, and I think Triple H is deliberately harkening back to the times when he was on top.
Not that any of us are complaining, but Chino, I want to go to you and ask about the comedy of it all, because the way that this segment ran, diba, R-Truth turned up the stupidity of his character all the way up to 15, and everyone else was just so exasperated.
No, parang hindi ko alam na pati pala si Triple H sasakay din dun sa kalokohan ni R-Truth. It was funny, honestly, to see somebody like Triple H, who is essentially the boss now, being part of this shenanigans, diba? Na parang pati siya, confused na din siya kay R-Truth. I don't really know how far they're willing to go with this Shocks character that he's trying to pull off, na parang hindi na kilala lahat ng tao.
He's been doing it for like a decade at this point.
Yeah, it's been quite some time. So, nakakatawa siya, yes, but then at the same time, nakakapagod na din. Tayo na, parang iniisip ko, bobo eh. Diba? Ako, that's what I thought. Dumadating na ako sa points na, oh my God, he's gonna play this card again. He's gonna act dumb again. And it's funny, yes, it's entertaining, but it doesn't really help the comedian, especially if you're laughing at the person and not with the person. Diba? I guess hindi yun naman yan yung role ni R-Truth dito sa situation na to. But the comedy fan in me just wants a little bit more in terms of the comedy that he delivers.
Mm-hmm. That's why R-Truth's shtick is good in small doses. If you get it like every week, syempre magkakaroon din na umay factor. Kasi,
but too bad, like, he's champion right now, so you're gonna get him every week.
Yeah. So, dadating tayo sa point na people are gonna start to complain about R-Truth.
I mean, they were complaining nung Judgment Day run niya, diba? That's one
diba?
of the
that was just me. No, it was really over. It was just me. As much as I, want to agree with that, it was just me.
Mm-hmm. Silent minority pala itong si Ro with regard to complaining about R-Truth. Switching gears, let's show some love to Sheamus, the honorary Pinoy, Chos, because he has returned, and yung unang pinansin ng mga tao sa internet is yung katawan ni Sheamus, na parang, bakit ang taba ni Sheamus ngayon? Hindi siya as jacked as most wrestlers when they come back from injury. So, Ro, what do you think about this chatter from wrestling Twitter? Kasi ang daming kuda eh.
Apparently, somebody photoshopped Sheamus's photo and then made him look fatter than he really is. When I saw that match, when I saw him come on, I noticed that he wasn't as lean as before. He wasn't as jacked as before. But he also wasn't as comically obese or dad body nung dun sa picture na umiikot sa social media. So that was pretty mean because he doesn't look bad. He just isn't cut. And when you have a neck injury like that, I think it could be forgiven. Now you're not in your best model-esque shape ever. Diba? Parang, come on, guys. And it's ironic because a lot of the people commenting on his body is not in anywhere close to being in TV ready shape, shirtless skin shape. Parang, like, shut the fuck up, guys. Who the hell are you to say that Sheamus isn't fit? I mean, yes, you can argue now, okay, he wasn't as cardiovascularly fit, but you can't also comment on that when you've never set foot into the ring and you don't know the demands, the physical demands, the cardiovascular demands that moving in the ring makes on your body. Diba? So that's totally not fair. Leave him alone. We're already blessed enough with more, I guess, months and years of Sheamus in the ring. Because he just said a while back that 2 months ago he wasn't sure kung mag-retire na siya talaga. Kasi his injury was getting bad, and then they found a way to have him recover. So I'm really happy about that, and a lot more people are happy because Sheamus is good, and they're finally coming around to how Sheamus is medyo underrated in the ring.
Chino, they brought back his old theme, Written in My Face, and they segued it dun sa entrance na ginagamit niya alongside the Brawling Brutes. Did you like that song?
I liked it. I appreciated the throwback. Nung nakita ko siya, I was actually taken aback for a bit. Kasi tagal ko na hindi narinig yung song na yun. And I see the fella walk out and do his thing. And then I was like, oh, they brought it back. So it was a nice throwback to how it was for Sheamus. So yeah, ang ganda din that they're acknowledging the history that he's brought to the WWE, you know, and how he's pretty underrated as a superstar. You're talking about a former Money in the Bank winner, former multiple-time champion here in Sheamus. So ang ganda na they're really acknowledging that he is a very accomplished superstar, albeit a very much older superstar.
One last point here, and I want to go to you, Emil. How big is it that Sheamus apparently was wearing Venom gear because he's now sponsored by Venom?
That's good. Means if he's sponsored, then that's money for him. That's muscle towel to Sheamus. I like the gear, by the way. When I first saw it, like, wow, it's such an upgrade over what he was wearing before he came back. So mukhang the green, I like the greenish look, and I really digged it. So so turns out he was sponsored. So good for him.
It also
Baka
means
maraming,
that other
sorry, go.
yeah, sorry. It also means that other wrestlers can be sponsored now, which was a big thing back in the Vince McMahon era. Diba? Hindi sila allowed to wear their brands, the things that they do on the side on WWE TV. So at least now, diba, there's more room for revenue for wrestlers, especially since they're still considered independent contractors.
Baka na maraming magtaka in the comments or listening to the podcast. Bakit ba natin tinatawag na Pinoy or kababayan si Sheamus? He married a Pinay, okay? So yun, that's
right.
the connection.
That's right. He is the honorary fam.
Yes.
That's right. Okay, last bit of WWE before we predict AEW Dynasty. NXT is reportedly being positioned as the third brand yet again. So we've got the draft happening at the end of the month. If you can see the logo of the WWE draft, the yellow at the bottom clearly alludes to NXT, and it's probably one of the reasons why Ava is now being seen as well as in the same room as Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce. She's in the room where it happens. So Chino, what do you think about this? Because we kind of already saw it in 2019, back when we did that three-way Survivor Series. And then after that, WWE pulled the plug and relegated NXT back to developmental status.
Sana sabihin niya kay The Rock, Mama Johnson, look at me now, Mama Johnson. Ganunin niya yung tatay niya. Because it would be so funny. Pero, jokes aside, I like how they're going back to that and treating NXT as an equal in this partnership, because it also allows for more underutilized superstars from either brands of the quote-unquote main roster to jump to NXT and not have it feel like a demotion or like an overseas trip, because it's on equal footing now. So may mga wrestlers din napupunta sa NXT that can actually be part of NXT and still be part of the quote-unquote main roster here. Diba? We also have a pay-per-view, Survivor Series, happening towards the end of the year. Sana ibalik na nila ulit yung Survivor Series that includes NXT as an equal participant in that pay-per-view. Kasi the times that they've done that, even before War Games, yung survival match nila, Keith Lee, diba? That was one of my favorite Survivor Series of all time. So I kind of want that to happen for this year's Survivor Series as well.
Mm-hmm. But Ro, if NXT was treated like a third brand, what about the wrestlers who are really just developing? Diba? People like a lot of these new guys that they picked up from like the NIL program, the Lola Vices of the world, who are transitioning from like an entirely different discipline.
Halatang di kayo nanonood ng NXT Level Up. So that's the new developmental to NXT. But I think NXT is still going to be developmental. Like if you remember the days of WWE CW, it was the young brand that they put the new guys in, the straight from FCW guys in. Um, it can still be a third brand and still be developmental. But like if the thing about NXT kasi is that they have been stockpiling the brand with a lot of veterans that even if they deserve to go up to the main roster, we're adding space on the main roster. Like you've seen guys like Carmelo Hayes. We saw him on SmackDown earlier this year, and then he's not on SmackDown anymore. That because there is no space for him. And Braun Breaker was also called up. Tapos ngayon lang din siya ginagamit talaga because he had to, finish out his obligations as NXT Tag Team Champion. And then you have Dragon Lee, diba, who got called up and then didn't do anything for a while because he was also NXT North American Champion. So at this point, it's a good idea. I think Triple H had the right idea naman to make it the indie third brand, the ROH of WWE. And then Vince just got on him and said no, because no, you still need developmental. But at this point, the way to develop yung mga inexperienced wrestlers is really to put them side by side with yung mga indie veterans who don't need to learn as much. Okay, you need to polish up your game a little bit. You need to, mature, quote unquote, as a wrestler. But other than that, you don't need to do that much work, as you have an idea of how to be a pro wrestler already. So obviously, if I were Adam Pearce or Nick Aldis, hindi ko naman draft yung mga super baguhan, diba? Like I'm not gonna go draft like Trey Bearhill or whatever, or Luca Crucifino na kaka-graduate lang from NXT Level Up. So it's still a developmental brand. It's just a developmental brand where it's okay to stock the old guard, the established veterans.
How wild would it be if during the draft, Ava says, I draft the undisputed WWE champion, Cody Rhodes?
Why the fuck not? Diba? I would assume na pwede yun. Unless yung champions are locked. Which I don't know. We didn't, ano naman. That's never happened, diba? The champions are locked to the brand.
Parang hindi. Parang matik lang na,
I think I
assume.
think I remember one draft na nagpalit lang sila ng champions.
Yeah, exactly.
Diba?
Yeah.
So
Emil, who do you want to see from the main roster get drafted to NXT, since NXT is going to be an active participant in the draft this year?
Probably someone who needs a lot of momentum. The Final Testament could really use NXT kasi their run has fell flat so far in the main rosters. I would like to see them be dominant in NXT. Possibly who else? Someone from the mid card who could get some time there and revitalize their run, kind of like what we saw with Baron Corbin. So probably Shinsuke Nakamura. I kind of want to see Shinsuke in NXT again, because they really tried. They really tried with Shinsuke on Raw this past year, but they keep humbling it. So a run in NXT might help him. So those are the two names that, off the top of my head, could use NXT.
All right. Let us know what you think about the draft. Sino yung mga gusto yung malipat ng brands as we get towards this year's version of the draft? Hit us up in the comments. We'll take a break now. We're going to come back with our predictions for AEW Dynasty. But first, another quick word from our other podcasts right here on the Pod Network. All right, AEW Dynasty is happening on Monday, Manila time. Syempre, Sunday yan in the US. And we are having a watch party on our Discord. So if you want to be part of that, that's another reason to subscribe to our Patreon program. Again, that is patreon.com/wrestling podcast. Okay, AEW Dynasty, first of this line. Hopefully, it's a brand that they continue to build on, kind of like yung All In and Revolution and Double or Nothing and all of that stuff. For the three of you, any expectations heading into this pay per view?
Sana magpakita pa siya lalo ng backstage brawl. Come on, DK. You don't start something you can't finish. More backstage brawls, man.
I
I'm
expect
just
a new
expecting-
champion. Yeah. I'll explain
I'm
why.
just
later.
expecting some really great wrestling. I mean, that's what AEW does best. Like they would have a subpar build up to their pay per views, and then they will just blow you away come the pay per view. So I'm expecting the same thing here.
Mm-hmm. We have 10 announced matches as of recording. Actually, before we woke up, we only had 7. And then in typical AEW fashion, here's 3 more matches that we're going to throw
Oh
on
my God.
a very stacked card. So
Here's
let's get
a
right to it.
6-hour show.
Yeah, well, to be fair, they've been
Four naman,
holding 4-hour shows naman regularly. Despite the bloated cards. Simulan natin with 0 hour. To pre-show to, not part of the 4 hours. But you have a titles for titles match. It's the Trios Champions or AEW World Trios Champions, the Acclaimed versus the Ring of Honor World 6-Man Tag Team Champions, Bullet Club Gold.
Yeah. I think the Acclaimed have lost their luster. Pun not intended. Wala na sila ng heat ever since they joined up together with BCG, and it was supposed to be big, but they also kind of rushed it, and then they rushed and break up. So parang wala na sila ngayon. They're just there, and they need something different. And I feel like it's time to bring back the prestige then to BCG, especially after Jay White fell off way after World's End, diba? So I am picking BCG to take everything.
Yeah, ako din. BCG walks away with the gold kasi nga for all the reasons Ro mentioned, and also because the Acclaim needs to stay off AEW product for a while. Parang na overexposed na sila eh. So at this point, I'm okay with them just being off TV for a while and bringing the shine back to Bullet Club Gold. So I'm picking them.
Same thing here. Bullet Club Gold should be able to have to win the AEW Trios Championships. That title needs a reset at this point. It's not even it's been a year and a half since the title was established, and it's just lost its shine. So I think a way to reset it is to give the titles to Jay White and the Guns. So I'll go Bullet Club Gold.
All right. Next up, you got the main show. Simulan natin with the FTW Championship. It's Hook versus Chris Jericho. So they've been sort of building up to this, and then biglang it took a turn where Jericho started getting all passive-aggressive dito kay Hook, and then now he put his hands on Taz, and this is where Hook got mad and really wanted to kick Jericho's ass. But instead, they actually didn't get too physical. Like, Hook just wanted Jericho to leave his ring. So, I don't know, feeling ko this story could have used a couple more story beats to get to this pay-per-view. What do you guys think?
Yeah, they rushed it because they wanted to get back to heel Chris Jericho because people were turning on him again, and it is what it is. I will admit now, hey, credit where credit is due. While he's clout chasing by doing this, at least yung mga deserving na young talent ang katrabaho ni Jericho here. I think it's like the worst version of what Edge is trying to do, but I think it works because I enjoyed the first Hook versus Jericho match, and I want to see more of it. So I feel like they finally get the championship off of Hook so that he moves up.
Jericho wins. That's my prediction. I don't know why.
Wala man
It's
reason.
It's typical of Jericho. I've seen Jericho go over young talents before in AEW, and it looks like they're going to extend this feud beyond Dynasty. So I'm expecting Jericho to win.
It's an interesting point kasi I don't know what Hook necessarily is without any sort of connection to his father. Diba si Taz nagpasok yan diba? And he won it against Team Taz, so he's been champion for quite some time, diba? And this, even though hindi pa siya formalized, he was an FTW champion. So while I can see Chris Jericho winning and having Hook move up, part of me still wants to say Hook retains. So I'm saying
Mhm.
Hook retains.
All right. Let us know what you think in the comments, or you can hit us up at Wrestling2X Pod on TikTok and on Twitter as we get to this next one, the international championship match between Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. Ito rin, medyo minadali nila para sa akin kasi I was curious about where they were going with KOR here, and then collision happened. Tapos yun pala, dun in-attack ni na Roderick Strong si Kyle O'Reilly. Did you guys feel na medyo rushed din to heading into a pay-per-view championship match?
No,
Yes.
because I thought they made it clear way before na KOR wasn't Kyle wasn't joining. Kasi if he was, he would have signed up at the very first jump, diba? When they first offered him the thing. So I knew that they weren't going there. I mean, they were going here, and they were gonna do a match between Roddy and Kyle. So it's not rushed to me. It's just that it wasn't executed properly. Although I knew na dito naman talaga papunta. So that kind of makes me not feel it was rushed. But I don't know what to pick here because at one point, I mean, at some point, why would you stall Kyle's momentum by having him lose? But at the same time, syempre, he's going to be outnumbered with the Undisputed Kingdom out there. So I'm going to say that Roddy retains here.
That's
Okay,
why.
go ahead.
No. That's why I said it's feel rush. Medyo feel rushed yung turn kasi nga the execution was a bit off, and they could have used a couple of more episodes to build up on the turn. They just did it suddenly. But I don't know kasi the Undisputed Kingdom is floundering. Like it's weird because this faction was formed just a few months ago, and they have a bigger purpose. But we all know Adam Cole isn't coming back anytime soon, so they're hitching their wagon on Roddy as their guy. So just have him retain, and I don't know, but I don't know where the Undisputed Kingdom goes from here. So they're clearly just biding their time before Cole comes back.
Ayun, here's the thing. It's good that you mentioned Adam Cole kasi may balitang lumabas from, I believe it was Fightful Select, na the reason why Adam Cole hasn't been showing up lately is because the travel has reportedly slowed down yung recovery niya. And according to that same report, parang mas mapapatagal palalo yung pagbalik ni Adam Cole to TV. So if his return is nowhere near close, what's the point of building the Undisputed Kingdom other than syempre to give TV time and exposure to Taven, Bennett, Wardlow, and Roddy?
Yeah, yun nga eh. It's kasi if Strong keeps the title and Cole isn't coming back anytime soon, would it be as interesting as if Strong drops the title, gives it to Kyle O'Reilly, and they face off? Feeling ko mas interesting yun eh pag nanalo si KOR, especially since he has momentum going into this match. So, ako, mas papabor na ako dun sa mas gusto ko panoorin, which is KOR winning this. So, I'm gonna say KOR.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's move on to the TBS Championship. It is a house rules match between Willow Nightingale and Julia Hart. Paano yun?
Okay,
Willow gets to dictate yung step, di ba?
Yeah, she gets to dictate the last step for the match rules. Anyway, obviously they're building towards Willow versus Mercedes Moné. So and Julia is super injured. Like she is really, really injured. That's why she didn't do the match kanina. And they did a match, I believe it was on Collision last Sunday or Rampage, where they barely got through it because Julia is super injured. So obviously it's gonna be Willow winning so that they can finally have fucking Mercedes wrestle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ako
same
din.
thing
Sa
here.
Willow Nightingale just because all the reasons mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Same reasons. So Willow here, I would win.
Eto, since Ro mentioned, so they can finally have Mercedes wrestle. What do you think about Mercedes just showing up and cutting promos? Kasi, the guys from the Mass Man show brought this up as well. Now, Mercedes isn't exactly the wrestler you think of when you think of promo people, diba? So
Yeah.
her mic skills aren't exactly the best, and she's best at her best rather when she's in the ring telling stories like that. So do you guys feel na napaka-limited nung capacity in which we're seeing Mercedes, especially since na-expose na her promo game isn't exactly the strongest?
I mean, I think if anything, she's underrated as a promo maker, promo teller. Ano ba tawag doon? Sa promoist. Kasi naalala ko yung promos niya from her time in the WWE, and some of them were not that bad. Like, may passion siyang dinideliver every time she calls herself the boss, every time she has to face off against somebody like Charlotte, diba? Who's to say na mas magaling yung mga kalaban niya than her or whatever. But I don't really find her that weak on the mic, and if anything, giving her the opportunity to work on her mic skills by actually doing them in the ring, it will just benefit her in the long run. So I actually don't mind that project.
She has confidence. She's able to talk, but the problem kasi is she has this weird put-on wrestler voice now. She's trying to sound really, really tough as a woman, pero it just really ends up sounding contrived and alam mong character, di ba?
Parang monotono siya magsalita eh. Isa lang lagi yung tono niya.
Yeah, exactly.
Like she's gonna sound like this. It's always gonna end like this.
Yeah, and then she does it really, really slow. So it sounds more annoying than it is impressive. So it's like the other end of the Charlotte promo style.
Yeah. So like I wasn't mocking Mercedes. It's just that, I had to explain. Once you hear it, you can't unhear it.
So that's why I don't want to hear her talk as much. But she has established kasi that her first match for AEW is going to be at Double or Nothing. I don't know if she's injured or she's still recovering, but she called that shot. So talagang wala kang magagawa na she's not going to do anything for another month. So wala. Yun yung schedule niya.
Mm-hmm. Saka sinusulit lang ni TK yung investment niya by having her appear every week. Yeah. Sayang naman kasi.
Oh, but dapat lang, di ba? All right, next up, you've got a trios match between the House of Black and the team of Adam Copeland and friends. Those friends being Mark Briscoe and Eddie Kingston.
Yeah. There's a clause that says Malachi isn't supposed to lose, so maybe that's it. I don't know. Maybe that's it.
I think the House of Black needs a win here. I go with House of Black.
They always win.
Really?
So they're not about to start losing now.
Yeah, parang, at saka like, chemistry-wise, mas maniniwala akong kayang talunin ng established team yung Adam Copeland and friends, or Adam Copeland and his temporary partnership, right? And Adam Copeland and two other guys he can have tag along. So I'm gonna go with the House of Black here.
Feeling ko rin very safe itong match kasi this is a match Cope can afford to lose. And si Eddie Kingston naman, he's not on the same hot streak he was towards the end of 2023 when he was about to win the Continental Classic. And then si Mark Briscoe, while he's ROH World Champion, he doesn't exactly strike anyone as undefeated or like undefeatable, diba? So, yeah, I can see why you guys would pick House of Black. Right, next up, the Continental Championship is on the line. Kazuchika Okada will be defending against Pac.
Ito talagang walang build. So it doesn't make sense other than it's a showcase for Okada. So clearly Okada wins.
Yeah. If Malachi isn't supposed to lose, then Okada definitely isn't supposed to lose. So Okada all the way.
Same then, Okada with the win. I said weeks ago na TK is likely going to have Okada go on a Goldberg type streak here where he wins so many matches without losing. So he's gonna retain.
What a missed opportunity for all of you to say Okada wins, lol.
That's okay.
Wala, di pa tayo maabot sa level.
Oh,
so.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. The AEW Tag Team Championship is on the line. It's the Young Bucks versus FTR in a ladder match. So this is part 4 of their series.
This is interesting kasi the smart money would be to put the championship on the Young Bucks kasi sila yung kupal na boss diba? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, do you really want to do that? Like, do you really want to turn people? I mean, I don't know. On a meta sense, why would the Young Bucks make themselves lose, diba? But I think the Young Bucks are also fully aware that they're not the hottest product right now, and they do need to give a feel good win, especially after last week's debacle. So I'm gonna say that FTR wins the championship here.
I
I'd
will
actually go with
say
the Young
this.
Bucks.
Yeah, ako din, actually. I will say, with the caveat that I believe AEW to be easily a tone deaf company at this point, with
True.
all the shit that's been happening. The Young Bucks retain for all the reasons I failed to mention. Yeah.
Uh-huh. What
Young,
about this? Sabi ni Ina, there's a potential return from Jack Perry. Does it happen here? Will he get involved with FTR or the Bucks?
Sure.
yes.
I'm open to anything. I miss Jack Perry.
Sama siya
Yeah.
ng glass, real glass.
Jack Perry helps the Bucks win, so I'll go with the Young Bucks. And there's also rumors that the Machine Guns are now signed with AEW, so maybe they'll confront them post match.
Kala ko sasabihin mo, the Motor City Machine Guns will come in and snatch the titles mid-match.
Hindi naman.
Because you can do that,
Post-match.
apparently.
Okay, down to the last 3 matches. Let's talk about Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson.
I'm willing
wins.
to, Ospreay wins. I'm willing to, Hindi naman selfish si Bryan Danielson, diba? So I'm willing to believe that he's gonna win.
I think because of the build that they've been giving Will Ospreay now, not just in AEW, but outside AEW. And dami ko nang nakitang features of just Will Ospreay, which I don't think has happened before for an AEW wrestler. Will Ospreay wins.
Yeah, Osprey wins this one, and I've been noticing for the last few weeks na they're kind of building up towards a kasi malapit na the next pay-per-view after Dynasty is Double or Nothing, and a staple of Double or Nothing is the Anarchy in the Arena match. So I've been noticing that they're kind of building up towards a Don Callis family versus the BCC, which I think may happen there. So maybe Osprey, and then they're gonna extend the feud beyond Dynasty.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, hindi ko napansin yan. So, good on you for catching that. I guess, parang every year it's the BCC and Anarchy at the Arena. This will be what, the second or third straight year?
Yeah.
Third.
I guess. Third. Oh,
Jeez.
2021 lang naman sila nabuo diba?
Wala na yung
Or 2022 lang sila nabuo.
Yeah, but like every year since, they've been in Anarchy at the Arena.
Sila lang naman yung maraming tao diba?
Wala na yung Hardy family. Wala na yung the
Inner
Elite,
Circle,
wala na
JAS, the Elite.
Inner
Yeah,
Circle,
they've all
diba? Wala na
disbanded.
sila eh.
Wala na rin Dark Orders, I guess. All right, sure. Okay, let's talk about the World Championships for men and women. Let's start with Toni Storm versus Thunder Rosa. Sorry, Timeless Toni Storm and Thunder Rosa.
Medyo nawawala ng momentum si Tony, but her story or her big story is not with Thunder Rosa. I feel that it's going to be with Mina Shirakawa and Mariah May. So she has to be champion still. Like, it's fine. She'll retain.
While I think it would be a nice story for Thunder Rosa to walk away with the title, kasi di ba, may kinalaman din yun during the time she had to drop and Toni Storm became interim world champion. I still also agree na baka nga may role to play pa si Mariah May dito, especially since Mina Shirakawa is back in the picture now. So, say Timeless Toni Storm.
Yeah, I agree. Agree with everyone else. It feels like Thunder Rosa isn't really a part of Tony's story right now. So Tony's gonna win. Then they're gonna build up towards that. You know, possibly Mariah may turn or someone else getting involved, but it's not definitely Thunder Rosa. So Tony wins.
All right. Let's go to the main event, the AEW World Championship. Samoa Joe defends against Swerve Strickland. So, Ro, you already alluded to your pick earlier. Is AEW getting its first Black World Champion?
Yes. Swerve ate a muscle buster to end the show. Eto na yun. Wrestling logic means he is winning. It is a time.
Pero teka lang, does Tony Khan follow this stereotypical wrestling logic based on
I
the
don't
patterns
care. He should. He should. Swerve is the hottest thing they have right now. Medyo cool off siya ng konti, but if they want to, restore the feeling, quote unquote, hashtag restore the feeling, Swerve has been chasing this for months now. And there is no other way to go. I love Joe. Joe is the best, and I think he's already done his part in holding the fort as the world champion since the whole debacle with MJF and the Devil. So ito na, it's Swerve's time.
Yeah, ako din. If they're gonna pull the trigger on Swerve right now, they should do it right now. Right? Like at this match, di ba? Kasi pag hindi pa nila ginawa dito, sayang lang yung build, sayang lang yung effort ni Swerve.
Yeah.
Sayang lang yung paglipat niya ng companies and all that. Sayang yun lahat. So
they're putting in the most. They're putting in the most effort for him right now. Like nobody else is getting this much effort on the build than Swerve.
Yep.
There's a saying:
Nakasayaw
strike
si
the
Rowan,
iron while it's hot.
Yeah.
Strike the iron while it's hot. So Swerve is clearly the hottest thing in AEW. Plus, again, wala na ako naisip na na pwede pang gawin ni Joe as the world champion. He has served his purpose at this point. So give the title to Swerve and maybe revisit the Hangman feud after this.
Oh yeah. Yes. Oh, we haven't seen Hangman in a while.
Nakabakasyon siguro or taking time off to recover. For those of you who will be at quiz night, please corner Rowan ASH and make him dance big
Lagyan
pressure.
na natin sa program yun.
Oh, yeah.
Anniversary naman natin
number.
Oo.
That's gawin natin
Intermission,
yun. Gawin natin yung habang nag-compute si Emil ng scores.
Oo, tama.
Yan na lang. Kasi wala na natin siya. That should be enough.
We hold the pencil. Why aren't we doing this ourselves?
Oo nga naman. So alam niyo na, yung mga atin na quiz night, another reason for you to show up is to see Rowan ASH dance big pressure. And for context, utang niya yun sa amin. Okay?
Oh, utang na yun. For those who don't know, for those who are only tuning in just now, that boy promised that he would not miss a live stream for the whole 2024, and he has not been seen since.
He has gotten away with that punishment for a long time, so make him dance.
No. You know what? I think he knew he wanted to because he made that bet knowing full well he's not going to show up for every week. He knows he has school. He knows he's going to be busy with schoolwork. So gusto niya sumayaw. Oh,
Dr. G, di namin alam kasi sobrang dami ng absence, okay?
Yeah.
Kumbaga kung klase to, drop na siya. April pa lang drop na siya.
Oo.
Okay, so we will see you there on Saturday. Sasayaw si Rowan ng big pressure sa harap ng madlang people, sa harap ng mga staff ng Hobby Stadium. Oh, tama si babyface producer Jasper. Nobody told Rowan to do all of this. He brought this upon himself.
Yeah, so that's how I know that he actually wanted to do it.
He wanted it. Tama din si Jasper. He wanted it. Now we're giving it to him. We're making it to him. Diba?
Ginusto niya yun. Okay? So magkita-kita tayo sa Sabado. Yan ang 420 celebration natin. Let's get high on wrestling trivia and knowledge. We will have a blazing time at Hobby Stadium on 420 as we celebrate 10 years of the Wrestling Podcast. Dami nating pa-premyo. We will see you there. The prizes are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/wrestling podcast. Tickets for Saturday are at 500 pesos and each ticket comes with chicken skin, a plate of chicken skin from Hobby Stadium in New Manila. And then itong pasabay link, you can see it on the ticker. Yung deadline natin for your orders is tonight, 11:59 p.m. tinyurl.com/pasabay April 2024. That is tinyurl.com/pasabay PASABUY April 2024. Let's get to some plugs on the way out. Emil, what do you have going on?
Well, naman, just see you guys on Saturday. We're gonna have fun, and again, our reviews are on Patreon. So for the weekly wrestling shows, and I write specifically for the Rampage and Collision. So you know what.
All right, Chino.
Yeah, may utang pa akong reviews pala. I just remembered. I've been busy.
Fine.
But thank you for everybody who listens to the Class Clown podcast. Brand new episode drops every Friday. This Friday, I have architects and comedians Richard Tan and Juan Paulo talking about, of course, architecture and how it relates to stand-up. Also, speaking of my podcast, again, the Class Clown podcast turns 4 this month or next month in May. 4 years old na akong nagpa-podcast mag-isa sa bahay, talking to all sorts of people, and I am going to celebrate it by doing a special show with all the comedians that I've had on. There are mga comedians who were guests and comedians who have pledged to perform on May 9th. That is a Saturday, May 4 pala. That is a Saturday, 9 p.m. at Wicked Dogs BGC. Tickets are available at comedymanila.ph. Also, watch the vlogs, guys. I put a vlog up for the WrestleMania 40 viewing parties no Hobby Stadium. So if you want to know what happens in our side of the world during WrestleMania 40, panoorin niyo yung vlog ko. It's up on the Wrestling Podcast Instagram.
All right. How about you, Ro?
Wala naman. Let's stay tuned for Kasaysayan. It was a really fun show. You guys missed out if you weren't there. Our Japanese visitors and friends were really, really good. I know they're not the biggest names over from Japan, but they are super veterans that have brought a lot of quality to our show. So please go stay tuned for that on RJ Rock of Manila TV, on Facebook and YouTube. It's going to air there for free. And I guess sometime next month. Tapos, if you want to be a part of the next MWF show, MWF Republica, over at the Bahay ng Alumni in UP Diliman, tickets are now available. Just go to ManilaWrestlingFederation.helixpay.ph. Tickets are still available. And the main event is going to be JDL versus Fabio Makisik versus Main Max for the MWF Pinoy Wrestling Championship. Go check that out next month.
Iger, Dr.
least
D,
di na tayo
ayusin nyo.
mawawala.
Pokemon One Piece Voltes 5.
Oo.
Mali-mali order nyo eh.
Mhm.
Okay, for me, if you have access to the Smart Sports live stream, I'm calling Converge versus San Miguel tomorrow alongside Coach Eric Reyes. That's for the PBA Philippine Cup. Medyo dumadalas yung bookings natin for PBA. So I hope to catch you there, whether it's at the D-League or at the PBA games mismo, for all the commentary stuff. So that's it on my end. For the show, it is at Wrestling Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and Spotify. Leave us a 5-star rating and a follow while you're at it. And for Twitter and on TikTok, it is at Wrestling2XPod. Individually, it is at EML_Meister, at Chino Supersized, at Roeswar, and at _Stan C. Yung at Monday Night Rowan, kuyugin nyo yun na nasasayaw siya ngayong Sabado. Kukuyugin nyo yan, okay? Thank you so much to Babyface producer Jasper and the rest of the people over at the Pod Network for the work that they do behind the scenes. Thank you all for being part of another episode of the longest running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. Kita-kita tayo sa Sabado, 10 years of the show. Thank you very much on behalf of Emil Nate, Chino Liao, and Romoran. My name is Stan C, saying stay safe, stay healthy, and don't be a dick. Later, Outcasts.
Peace.